You tell yourself you're just introverted, that you don't like people, that you prefer being alone. But then, why do you sometimes wish someone would truly understand you? Why does a part of you want connection, and another part quietly avoid it? Something doesn't add up, and it's not what you think. You don't hate people. You just feel tired around them. Conversations feel like performance. You think before every sentence. You replay what you said long after it's over. Sometimes you even cancel plans you were excited about. Not because you don't care, but because something inside you pulls back. In groups, you stay quiet. Not because you have nothing to say, but because saying the wrong thing feels costly. And slowly, this becomes your identity. I'm just introverted. I'm not a people person. But here's the quiet part you don't say out loud. You want connection. You just don't feel safe inside it. This pattern affects more than social life. It shapes your decisions. You avoid opportunities that require visibility. You stay in the background, even when you have something valuable to offer. And over time, you start confusing protection with personality. 3. Reframe. You're not broken. What you're sensing is not a personality flaw. It's an adaptation. Your brain learned something early on. Being fully seen can lead to discomfort, rejection, or even emotional pain. So instead of expressing freely, you learned to filter, to hold back, to observe before participating. This isn't weakness, it's intelligence. Your mind is trying to protect you. But protection, when it becomes constant, starts to look like who you are. 4. Psychological mechanism. To understand this, you need to see how your brain processes social safety. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala. It scans for threats, not just physical ones, but emotional ones too. Rejection, judgment, embarrassment. Your brain doesn't treat these as small things. It treats them like danger. Now imagine this like a smoke detector. For some people, it only goes off during real fires, but for others, it reacts to steam, to heat, even to harmless signals. That's emotional guarding. Your brain has learned to detect social risk quickly, sometimes too quickly. So before you speak, before you open up, before you engage, your system pauses you. Not consciously, but automatically. This is tied to something called predictive processing. Your brain is always asking, what is likely to happen next? Past experiences included being 5. Practical framework. So, how do you start shifting this? Not by forcing yourself to be more social, but by slowly teaching your brain something new. 1. Lower the stakes of being seen. What to do? Start expressing small, low-risk thoughts. Not deep emotions, just simple opinions. Why it works? Your brain learns through exposure. When nothing bad happens, it updates its prediction model. Example: instead of staying silent, say, I actually liked that movie. Small, but real. Visual: notebook with one sentence written. 2. Separate safety. What to do? Notice when you're quiet out of choice, and when it's fear. Why it works? This builds metacognition, awareness of your own thinking patterns. and awareness weakens automatic reactions. Example. Ask yourself, do I want to stay quiet? Or do I feel like I have to? That question alone starts changing behaviour. 3. Allow imperfect expression. What to do? Speak even when your thoughts aren't perfectly formed. Why it works?
What to do? Focus on small, consistent interactions instead of intense ones. Why it works? Repeated, safe interactions rewire emotional memory through neuroplasticity. Example, a short daily conversation, a simple check-in message. Over time, your brain starts associating people with safety, not risk. Visual, 2 people walking quietly together. 6. Integration. Think of your mind like a gate, not a wall, a gate. Right now, it's mostly closed, not because nothing should come in, but because it hasn't learned what's safe yet. Every small expression, every imperfect interaction, every moment you don't retreat,